and welcome back. It is me, Cyberwarrior, and it is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Once again, I'm here. And today, what we're going to talk about is two-factor authentication and multi-factor authentication. Now, as everybody knows, for most things, you require a password to log in. Username and password. It's something you know, right? So for any type of multi-factor authentication, whether that be 2FA or going even beyond and having 3FA, what the keys are, something you know, something you have, and something you are. So for MFA, right, anytime it's multi-factor, which goes, some people confuse the two, right? So there's 2FA, which is two of the factors, MFA, which is more than two. Some people consider it the same thing. They can be interchangeable. But for the sake of this video, we're going to say 2FA is just two factors. MFA is three. All right. So for 2FA, there are a few things available, actually quite a few things available for second factor authentication. Some not as secure as others. Of course, everything's going to require a password. Now, beyond that, you want to enable a second factor. Now, for some people, that's text message or SMS. And although it's better than nothing, it is not perfect. And especially in the US, because I found out recently that in certain countries, you cannot SIM swap. Though I'm sure people find a way, but technically you cannot SIM swap. But in the US, you can. So if somebody is really determined to get your data, they can, through social engineering, get a SIM card and have it essentially have your number ported to that card. So that if they want to break into your account, they use that SIM card, now have all your text messages, all your phone calls, and can now use your second factor of authentication to get it. But for the common user, it is still a very, very, very valid second form of authentication, and it is definitely better than nothing, right? So it's better than just a password. It's still that extra layer of security. You can also use things like email and things like that. Now, going beyond that, there's things that it'll do, like on your iPhone. All right, if you enable a second form of authentication, you can use things like a code. So if you have a iCloud account, you can say, okay, here's my iCloud. Do not allow anybody to log in, because they have to have your phone also, or a computer. So anytime you log into a different device, it'll use any of your other devices to then send a PIN to, for you to then type into that phone. So that's another form of 2FA or MFA. 2FA we'll say in this case, because it's something you know, which is your password, and something you have, which is your phone or computer or whatever the case may be. And the list goes on. Now, the other form of 2FA comes down to hardware tokens, which are these. So you have YubiKey or Yubico, and then your Google Titan keys. Now, you see this little thing on them, right? This little gold piece right here. What that lets you know is that in order to activate it, you cannot just plug the key in and gain access. It's not enough. So if you leave this in your desktop and somebody's trying to steal a token or something like that, they can't just, assume, oh, it's plugged in, I can use it. You'll actually see a little light pop up on these, and you have to touch the gold plate in the middle to activate the key itself. Without someone touching that key, it never gets activated. Now, it's not a biometric reader, right? So it's not just it's not that third form of authentication that we're looking for. It's not biometric, but it is still something more. So it's still 2FA, and it's a hardware token. So it's a little bit harder to bypass. Again, not impossible. There's always a way around everything, especially depending on the system. However, it is still better than SMS, and it is better than email, because if you don't have 2FA on your email or MFA, then you can easily, if somebody compromises that email, then they can log into your other accounts if you're using that email address for multi-factor authentication. Now, when it comes to having all three, what that requires is biometrics. So something which is a password, something you have, which is usually a hardware token, all right, or a phone, and then something you are. So retina, fingerprint, facial recognition, anything of that. Now, when you encompass all three together, that's when you get MFA. And to be honest, I haven't seen anything that uses MFA. And if anybody wants to correct me, please feel free down below in the comments. Go ahead, let me know what you feel is currently using multi-factor authentication. I personally have not seen anything in the consumer space that uses MFA. I've seen 2FA in all aspects. I've seen SMS. I've seen, actually, there's even things like Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, Authy. These are all things that allow you to log in, right, and have a PIN that you can then type in. Kind of the same concept as Apple does with their different devices, only these are actual applications that will allow you to do it. So there's all these different forms of 2FA, but I have yet to see anything that is truly MFA in the consumer space. All right. Again, if you see something different, please correct me. But if you're a consumer, if you're a business, if you're a company, please, I beg of you, at least use 2 different factors of authentication. That includes requiring a username and password to log in. That is also either a hardware token like Google Titan Key, Yubico, or anything like that, or a one-time PIN that changes on a regular basis, like some type of authenticator app, Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, RSA keys, anything like that is definitely better than nothing. All right, it's that next line of defense. The harder you make it, the less likely it is somebody's going to take the time to break in. So this has been Cyber Awareness Month for October 8th. I hope you find this video helpful. And if you have any questions, any comments, please leave them down below. And please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I will catch you all next time.